I guess that it's important for my further career because I got an insight into the legal system and the political system in the US. I learned a lot and also about the language. And I guess it's also a signal for if you apply for jobs that you are capable of doing things on your own, that you can the whole process of going abroad, to get the visa, to get housing, to be alone there. I think if you apply for jobs, they will see that you are that you are capable of doing things like that on your own. I think that is really important. For me, it was a really important experience, and I guess I learned a lot. But I also think that you will realize that a lot later. Maybe in a few months I will look back and say, oh my god, I learned a lot, I experienced a lot, but yeah, it takes a little time to realize.
Professionally, I definitely feel like having a well-known NGO on my CV is going to be really helpful. Personally, I also feel it's sort of developed my ability to get to know people and be open to making new friends. I've also learned a lot about other nationalities and other cultures, which I think has really enriched me personally.
In the personal context, it means everything. I mean, I found my significant other here in Washington DC, so for me, personal would be the most important achieve here of my stay in United States. Professionally, things weren't that good. We had some problems of the Spanish crisis and some problems with the funding of our organization here lead us to more problems in the United States. So professionally, it would mean a lot because it's always important to have international experience. But yeah, probably the most important is in the personal way.
Yeah, personally, I knew it was a great time to grow, to break out of that comfort zone. It was huge. Professionally, people want to see that you studied abroad, you've been to East Asia, you've done Chinese studies, because it's such a vital country, especially at the moment, right? And knowing that I have some kind of knowledge definitely helps in at least interviews and things, and talking with people who have similar interests. Going to China helped me put things in perspective. I was there during the primaries, the Democratic primaries here against Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and so it was an interesting contrast to be away from that while I was in China. I was seeing it outside in. The process was still an exciting time, and it reassured to myself that I wanted to come back to the United States. Eventually, I don't know if I'd like to continue to work full-time in China. But yeah, I became more politically aware in China.
You really learn a lot of things, not only like academic-wise, but also you meet people from a lot of different countries. So I think that is also very important for you as a person to learn from everybody that surrounds you.
I think the organisation I've worked at is a lot more corporate than the other organisations I've worked at, which I found a bit difficult at the beginning. But I think it's definitely a lot more organised as well than other organisations, so that's been a plus.
The way they work, I prefer it than the way we work in Europe, especially back in Spain. The main difference is, I think here they give more importance to life and not to the job, sometimes. Yeah, it looks like we do that thing in Spain, but here I found that it's completely different. They work very hard for a time, and then they have clear that they need to save time for their lives, have fun, enjoy, go to the gym, whatever.
Well, my field is journalism, so I'm learning the American way of doing it, and I have found that we have some similar aspects, but I have also noticed that we have a lot of things that we manage to do different.
Actually, I think there are some differences, certainly. I think the most important one is that I think the working environment here is more comfortable and more flexible, and the people here are very nice, and they have their very different working styles. from those in China. So I feel very comfortable to work here. Certainly more comfortable than I work in China, because the working time is very flexible, and the people, the step of the people are not so fast, and they very enjoy their life, enjoy their work. So it's very
born in Afghanistan, not by choice, but by luck. But I came to the United States by choice. So you can see I have a very good spot in my heart for both of these countries. And Afghanistan, of course, is my home and will always be my home. I have my childhood friends there, my family still lives there. And the United States, it's where I came when I was 13 years old, and I made some very good friends. And I'm still meeting a lot of very good people from all around the world. And it's a great country, a lot of opportunities, a lot of it's free society where everybody is allowed to do their best. And for me, it's important to put both of these opportunities and rich backgrounds of the countries and the people's culture together, and be able to someday bridge the gap that exists between the two countries, and hopefully that exists to be able to bridge that gap that exists between all the nations.
Different perspective about America, and sometimes I think that the media is showing stuff from only one perspective, and maybe I can go back and tell the people, okay, but it's kind of different in the US, and there are a lot of things, it's really diverse, and you can't always just tell it from this perspective. And also all people I met from different countries, it's the same. I mean, the talks which you have, and yeah, you learn a lot, and I think I can give a little bit of that maybe back in Germany.
The civil society in Warsaw is still sort of developing, so I hope to contribute to it someday.
Our country.
Actually, I think the working experience here is very important for me to contribute more to my country in the future, because the financial field in America is developed very, very well compared to any other countries in the world. So I can learn a lot from their experience and their working style now. It's very important for me to work in China in the future, because I can bring them new series or new working styles or new working methods to China. I think it's very. I'm not sure what can I really contribute to China in the future, but I think what I can do is prepare me better to what I will do in China.
Back in Colombia, when you work in television, you have somebody that helps you with your, let's say, pieces and whatever you edit. Here, it's the journalist who does it. So for me, learning all the technical part of it, it was really, really nice, because now I feel like whenever I go back home, if I work there, I can also be part of that technical aspect of the whole process.
I would like to stay here for a year or two. I would not like to stay forever. Like some people, they stay for 5-10 years, or they would like to stay here for the rest of their lives. I don't want to do that. I definitely want to go back home to Kuwait, teach in my university. It's a dream come true. I like to go into academia, maybe be a tutor back home. Definitely provide something for my country back home as well, because whatever experience I'm learning back here in the States, I'm going to take it back home, and hopefully one day I'll be able to go back.
I believe so. That's my hope, and that's my ambition, to be able to use this kind of I talked about the opportunities that I'm provided and the kind of environment I was grown up, both in Afghanistan. I understand that a lot of people, when they think of Afghanistan, they always see the images that comes from media or the articles that they read in the newspapers. But I myself personally, and believe that Afghanistan has so much that the world could learn from Afghanistan, and the same thing. So my ambition, my hope is to be able to get this education and the opportunity that I'm provided, and be able to bring change in people's lives that need it the most.
I'm kind of a homebody. I like hamburgers too much, I guess.
Okay.
But I love Chinese food. That's all I ate.